Chris Hensley is a registered representative of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative of Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Houston First Financial Group are not affiliated.
This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to Money Matters on KPFT Houston. I'm Chris Hensley. The time is now 11 a.m. Is what I usually say on a Friday, but that is not the case today. I am actually operating remotely from a spare room in my office, as is everybody else right now. You're probably a little bit restless, a little bit anxious right now. You're wanting to go out and go for a walk. You're wanting to get to a gym. You're wanting to hug a distant family member. You've got the kids home like I do, and you're having to play teacher. And so you're used to us talking about finance. We're going to put a pause on that right now because we're in a different situation. Everybody's staying at home right now. And so we wanted to put together a show for you that has to do with the topic of staying active, being mobile and fit, and even stress management. So I have with you two of my lifelines when it comes to my own personal health and fitness and even stress management, as well as my family, the two people here in Houston, in the heart of Bel Air that I trust with my personal health, with you to talk about this topic. So please stay tuned, keep listening. I am going to just take a few moments. If you're a longtime listener, you know I always use just the first few moments to tell you a little bit about what's going on in Houston when it comes to financial literacy, and then what's going on with the show. So we'll just do kind of a calendar update here. With KPFT, we are essentially on pause. There are essential staff members there that are about two people. That's going to be Rourke from Wide Open Spaces and one other person. And so they're playing the archives here. So you will probably hear this on the FM side. We are a podcast as well. And so you'll have a podcast notes as well. So I'll put all the information on there. Houston Money Week, which you've heard me talk about for the past, all the way since November. We've been building it up. Well, that takes place in April. And so that's on pause as well. So you'll be hearing some information about that. Upcoming guest, April 10th, we're going to have Robin Dreeke. He is the author of a very interesting book that I just finished reading called Sizing People Up. He is an ex-FBI agent, and he will be on April 10th. So that's going to be a good show. And then Mike, let me see if I can say this right. Mike Milakowicz. I'm probably slaughtering the last name there. He's a New York Times bestselling author of the book Profit First, which is an accounting book, Clockwork, and he has a new book coming out called Fix This Next. And so he'll be joining us on April 22nd. So with that, we've got Pablo and Kailee patiently waiting here to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and leverage as much time as we possibly have with them. And let me introduce them to you. I know Kailee and Pablo quite well, but I want to introduce them to you. Kailee is the ex-NFL linebacker for the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. He is also the owner of the Athletic Room, and we'll let him introduce himself as well. Kailee, can you tell us something about yourself outside of that bio so that listeners can get to know you a little bit better?
Yeah. So I'm going to lead with the thing that I'm most proud of, the thing that, kind of defines me. And that's, I'm married to a beautiful wife, Marisa, for 18 years. I have 4 children, and, I'm having a lot of opportunity for a lot of family time during these stay-at-home, orders. So it's actually been, there's so many things that are going, terribly, there's just so many things that you're very uncertain about. But the one thing is this added family time and this ability for us to connect. I mean, it's been quite a big blessing for me and my family. So that has actually been something I've been really, been very focusing my gratitude around this opportunity that really is, was unexpected, and we're taking full advantage of it.
I love that. Looking at this is kind of an idea to hit the reset button on some of those things that we've forgotten about. I'm kind of a workaholic, so sometimes you have to grab me and sit me down to make me do those things, and we don't really have much of a choice on that. So right now, that's a good thing. So Pablo, I want to introduce you as well. Pablo is, most people don't realize that we have a world champion jiu-jitsu professor right here in the heart of Bel Air. I would like to say Pablo's a hidden secret, which he shouldn't be, because we have one of the best jiu-jitsu schools out there right here in Bel Air. Pablo started jiu-jitsu at the age of 14 in his small hometown in Brazil. At the age of 16, Pablo made the difficult decision of leaving his hometown to train jiu-jitsu full time. Fast forward many, many years, he's right here in the heart of Bel Air. Pablo, for listeners to get to know you a little bit better, can you share something maybe separate from that bio?
So, as everybody who know me very well know, I'm a jiu-jitsu lover. I dedicated pretty much all my life to jiu-jitsu. Um, I just have a lot of passion for what I do. And I think that's why I got to achieve all my goals.
I love that. I love that. So let
And
me.
can I brag on Pablo for a little bit too for a second?
Oh, absolutely.
What the thing that is the something that a lot of people don't have an opportunity, that don't interact with Pablo, is the way in which he leads his life is very, it's amazing to watch. And the way he's created destinies for himself, all through mindset and all through having these deep connections to just commitment, focus, and how he's able to communicate that and kind of share that in a loving way with the people that he gets to interact with on a daily basis, and especially the children, is probably something that makes his studio so different and so unique from everywhere else I've ever been.
I
And
love
Kylie.
that. I would just piggyback on top of that and say yes, 100% on all of that. That's why I'm having you guys on the show, because really, when it comes to my health personally, you guys are two of the biggest influences on my life individually. As somebody who is about to turn 46 here in April, shout out to the April quarantine birthdays. It is hard later in life. So let's dive right into it. How important is it to stay physically active during this stay-at-home order?
You can go first, Kylie.
Okay. Look, I think it is incredibly important, right? And I think obviously, all of us here, I mean, we consider ourselves lifetime athletes, right? So yes, Pablo and myself, we probably did something professionally, but Chris, you are considering yourself a lifetime athlete, and that's why you participate in rolling or Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the school and working out outside of it. We know that exercise is so critical to a number of things, right? We know it's critical to our immune system. We know that it's critical to just our bodies and mobility and movement. And at a time where we really have many of us have a little bit more time, um, it's so critically important, not only for our bodies and not only for our immune system, but also for our mental health, right? Because we're inside, we're with our families, we are going through different stressful events. We're all dealing with a lot of stress, given kind of COVID-19 and what it's doing to our personal financial life, what it's doing to our financial the financial of our business, all that type of stuff, and then just our neighbors, our friends, our family. So we know one quick, easy cure is by just getting out there and getting exercise, getting activity, which does a number of things for your body, but most importantly, it keeps you healthy. And so that is why it is absolutely critical, probably more critical now than at other times, to make sure that you stay on an exercise program, because as you stop moving, as stress builds up in your life, your immune system becomes compromised, And we know that there's a way to reset that and make it stronger. And that's through, staying active and keeping moving.
That's super important. Pablo, I'll ask you the same question. How important is it to stay physically active during this stay-at-home order?
Yeah, I agree 100% with everything, every single word Kylie said. It's very, very important you keep your body moving. You know, mind and body should work together. You cannot just stay home and be thinking like because you're reading books, you're trying to do other stuff, you're doing anything good for yourself. You need to do both. Both need to work together. Um, that's really, really bad time right now. And I like to tell the truth. The way, even if I hurt people's feeling, I was going to tell the truth. So the way I see the things, people already love to find excuse to not exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's now it's a perfect reason or excuse, to people just stay home. And now is the time when people should be pushing themselves to do something. Uh, One thing people don't realize, what killed the most in the entire world, what killed the most people, it's heart disease. It come first to cancer, any other sickness, heart disease. And it has everything to do with the diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that. So it's very important. Everybody try to go outside, do something. Go for a walk, you go for a jog, uh, do some push-ups home, but do something. It's much much better to you just stay home and not doing anything.
I love that. I love that. You said do both because you mentioned, people are at home, they're reading, they're doing things to keep themselves involved, but it may seem to be an excuse for not doing those workouts, those things that
Yes,
we know
exactly.
we need to be doing. I know on social media, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Hey, I'm watching TV, I'm taking a break." I've been more busy right now than I have been in the past 2 to 3 months. So making sure that that becomes a priority and doing both is huge. So let me move on here and ask another question. Really, just kind of sharing some ideas because people who are going to be resistant to doing the things that we need to do physically anyway might have a hard time imagining what activities they need to be doing right now to supplement that. We're not even walking to our cars to go to work right now. We're losing, there's extra calories in there we need to burn. Can you share with us some ideas of what activities might work at best at home, Kailee?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There are a lot of, I've actually taken this time and really been playing around with a lot of different types of workouts. My general advice for everybody is first and foremost, you need to walk, right? So we need to be outside. You need to walk. We understand you have to be safe. You have to have social distancing. You have to keep that. But walking does two things. One, it's walking, so it's great for your body. We're designed to move. We're all athletes because we're all designed for movement. The second thing is we know that 3/4 of us in America are deficient in vitamin D. And vitamin D is called the sunshine drug. So it does a couple of things for you. One, it actually is a very, very good stimulus for you hormonally and something that can improve your immune system. And then and secondly, you get it from just exercising and walking outdoors and doing that type of stuff. So that is one of the first things that I recommend everybody should be doing. Like and it's been really fun going around our neighborhood and just seeing family after family outside walking the streets. I've never seen our streets so full with people walking. Go ahead.
I was just going to validate that as well. As soon as you tell people, "Hey, you can't go outside," I'm looking out the window of a house. I've seen more people out walking right now than I have ever seen in my life. So I would just say yes on that.
And so it's so wonderful to see people doing that. After that, you know, some of the things that Pablo has been giving our school, these basic exercises. Sometimes we want to complicate exercise so much. We want to think that we have to be doing these certain movements or what's it called, but they all started somewhere, and it typically was without weights. So a lot of body weight exercises, what I've been playing around with, push-ups, sit-ups, some, the old school stuff. And the other thing that I am really, really focusing on is making sure that you're also stretching. So maybe you are relaxing, maybe you are in front of the TV and just kind of binge watching Netflix. What I tell my children is there's no reason you can't do that on the floor, either stretching or using some type of foam roller, right? Take care of your body. It's, you know, it's a tool. It's a tool for you ultimately when this world opens back up for you to go out back out and make money. So take care of it. And then sorry, I keep saying the last thing. And the thing that we've been doing the most with my family, because we've been working out as a family, has been we've been really playing. We've been having fun playing, making exercise fun so everyone can do it. You know, whether that's a game of kickball, whether that's, you know, jumping on a trampoline with my children. These are all things that, you know, that we're kind of doing in the Wong household and dancing. And we're just having a blast with it. So I encourage people to do things that they like and make it fun.
So I will. You said some very important things right there. You started by mentioning walking. That kind of ties in the cardio involved with walking, ties into that heart disease that Pablo was just talking about. That's definitely something everybody needs to do, and we're kind of putting that on pause if we just stay around the house and don't get out and do that. You talked about vitamin D from the sun, just getting out and warming your body up, and even seeing the sun. If you're homebound the whole day, that's not good. People are already vitamin D deficient, so that's huge. And then the idea of playing, making it fun. So Pablo, I'm going to ask the same thing. I already know some of the answers on this because of the online content that you've been sending out as well. That's been very helpful in my household. What are some of the activities that people might do at home?
It's so many things. Today you have the internet. You know, you can Google, you can find so many things you can do. A lot of people don't have the knowledge. You know, people who never worked out before, they think just the only way they can exercise if they go to the gym, you know, and lift some weights, and it's not correct. You know, but I understand that most of the time because they just don't have the knowledge. You know, it's a lot of exercise you can do just body weight. Like Kyle said, you can just sit on the floor, stretch, watch TV. You're doing something great for your body, and people don't realize that. That's for you to get a good workout. Just probably going to take 30 minutes of your day, you know, and that's it. And it's a very easy exercise you can find on the internet, just body weight, where you're not going to hurt yourself, and you're going to feel great after you're done. Another thing Kyle was saying about the walk in the sun, people don't realize how those things is so important for you. Not too long ago, so I hurt my back last year, and one of the things people has been telling me to do is walk. It's one of the best thing you can do. And then I started thinking about like, man, before when I was young in my city it's very small, so you know, use car to go to the place, to the gym to work out, to the gym to train jiu-jitsu. So you just walk for 30 minutes back and forth. And that's not a problem because you always see a friend, stop, talk a little bit, and walk again. And we don't do those things anymore, you know.
Mm-mm.
You get in your car, get to work. After work, get in your car again, go to the gym, or come back home. You didn't walk, you didn't get any sun during of the day. And that's so bad for your body.
Mm-mm.
Uh, And I think people should realize that, you know, at least like 20 minutes. So now when I have the chance to walk to the gym, I just walk 20 minutes walk. I get to the gym or go for a jog. And I try to stay outside with my dogs playing because I know how beneficial it's the sun for ourselves, you know, and people need to start to realize those things.
I love that, and I'm going to pause and brag on Pablo here for a moment because I got an online video that Pablo had done with the jujitsu classes that we're taking that I could do with my son, and we have been stir crazy for like 2 weeks, and so that was really helpful to be able to do that. As an I think, and Kailee earlier was like, Chris, you fall into the athlete category. No, Kailee, just thank you for doing that. But at 46, I didn't do any sports until I started jujitsu. So here, the reason I'm mentioning this is because like a lot of lay people, you guys are able to when we are past this when we are on the other side of this COVID-19 or coronavirus, the types of guys that you are, and why I look to you as coaches is I've had injuries where Kailee has told me, hey, you need to foam roll your knee, and you knew it, you could see it. You're like, it's not that, it's this. Pablo, I would ask for help on this, and he's like, Chris, you need to work on your balance. And so, and you guys could see it. But as a layperson who's not done a lot of athletic stuff, we lean on that. So I'm just reminding people, and we'll talk about this at the end, how they can get access to you guys and where they would go to do that. This is really important. You've kind of had to pivot with your businesses because it's such a high physical contact business, but both of you. Tell me a little bit, because you both work with elite top performing athletes. How important is active recovery in your opinion?
Pablo, I'm going to let you go first because I could talk forever on this.
Uh, I wish I could have the knowledge that I have today. When I first started jiu-jitsu, I don't understand the word recover. It's just go, 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 train, train, train. And it's not health at all. You're trying to train with no knowledge uh, and try to be a professional athlete. I tell everybody it's not health at all, because you hurt, you don't have a choice. You need to keep training. It's the only way you're going to be a champion. Uh, a lot of the time, the diet, kill yourself, and then you go home, get a good night of sleep, and those things start accumulating, over years, over years. When you're young, you're not going to feel anything happen to you, but later you're going to feel, all the damage you did to yourself. So recovery is something very important. And even if you're not a professional athlete, you want to live for a long time, you need to think about your recovery. It's something very, very, very important in everybody's life. One thing my mom always say: one night of sleep is the best meal. It's the best thing you can get in your life. If you get home, you sore or you hurt, you can't sleep. So you need to take care of your body as like a car. You know, no, put the right gas, the right things on the car. Gonna be an ugly car, and the car can break anytime. And that's how I see things this way.
I love that. You mentioning sleep. A lot of people leave sleep off of that. At my age, if I fall asleep on the couch at 9:30, that's my body telling me, "Hey, man, you need to take a rest." I'm going to listen to that. Kailee, same question to you. And you work with many elite athletes as well. How important is active recovery to you?
So it is hands down the most important thing. So I want to kind of take you a little, in my opinion, right? The point of any exercise, any type of exercise workout that you ever try to do, is to stress your body, right? So exercise is stress. We actually call that eustress. And the purpose is to allow your body to recover so that next time you experience that same exercise, that you're actually come back stronger, right? And so recovery is really what you're going after, even when you're exercising. You're exercising to make sure that you recover so that way when you exercise again, you can build on top of it, right? That's the whole idea of, exercise science. Now, as a professional athlete, in the NFL, the my job, and when you get into I'd say big money, to where it's very organized, there's a lot of people, on your team to try to optimize performance. My job in the NFL was, my number one job was recovery, right? So mind you, I did not say that my job was to tackle people or was to work out or was to do anything. It's all about being a professional, is all about the recovery in between. Because playing games, practicing, those are given. You're going to do that. You have to do that. There's no way around it. But the pros, the guys who really separate themselves, they are the ones who take recovery as a critical component to their performance. And this goes for not just sports. This goes for work-life balance. This goes for a trader who's sitting at a computer and dealing with a lot of stress, trying to trade, whatever commodities or, equities or whatever it is. All of these things you need to recover from. And so, one of my favorite quotes, JJ Watt said it a couple of years ago. He's like, look, my life is boring. I go to bed at 8:30. You know what I mean? Like, that is what a pro athlete does. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. He's going to bed because he is trying to perform at his optimal, at his best. And in order to do that, you have to sleep. Remember? And that's another form of recovery. Sleeping is the only time that your body actually repairs. And so that is why, when we talk about, not getting enough sleep, or, young athletes who are, burning the candle at both ends, the reason why breakdowns, the reason why issues will occur is because their body just doesn't have that time to repair. And so, the number one thing is, sleep, followed by nutrition, and then hydration. And, those three things really, before you get into stretching and foam rolling and all these other things that you can do to just optimize even more, those are the foundation that you have to build on.
I love that. I love that. We've got just a few minutes before the show's over, keeping in mind that we only have about 4 minutes left. Each one of these questions we could do a whole show on. So I wanted to take a second just to, for listeners who are interested in getting in touch with you and using your services, how would they go about doing that? Pablo, how would somebody find out about your gym?
The best way today is send us an email. It's Pablo Silva BJJ gmail.com. If not, any person can just walk by, come take a look in school, see how everything looks like. Come talk to me. Just put my name on the Facebook, social media, Pablo Silva. Try to reach me out from there too. It's pretty easy. Has so many options.
Perfect. And if you're driving right now and you're listening to this, don't feel like you have to write it down, because we do have the links on the podcast notes as well. Kailee, how could somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to work with you for the athletic room or even the Regen Room as well?
Yeah, no, both of the websites, so theathleticroom.com or, regenroom.com. But, you could also just look at us on Instagram or Facebook. You could start there, send an email to info@theathleticroom.com. Check out our website. We're actually be updating it right now. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff because we recognize that people are at home. We want them. I'm such a proponent of stretching and flexibility and taking care of your body and making sure that you're listening to your body. And so we're going to be releasing a lot of content. So send us an email, get on our email list so we can, give you, ideas around lower back pain, stretches for, hip flexors or, shoulder movements and that type of stuff. So we're kind of building all that content so we can just start delivering out to everybody, free of charge, just because, we want to keep Houston healthy. And, we want to create the healthiest community here in Houston. And so we want to be a part of that. So that's kind of what the Athletic Room is trying to do right now.
Fantastic. We are right here just with a minute and a half left. Pablo, what have I forgot to ask you that you want to share with listeners today?
Let me think. Nutrition, it's something very important. I wish we could have more time to talk about nutrition. It's very important you really understand what you put in your body. Everything has a different benefit, Eat well gonna help you with everything. We was just talking about sleep. Normally I get from the gym very late. I was eating every single night very late, a lot of meat, and I just didn't sleep well. And I didn't feel my body was recovering. And then after I start research and try to understand more about nutrition, it's been great. I get 6-7 hours of sleep. So I wish you could have more time to talk about that, but like I said today, everybody has internet. You guys can do the same homework as I did. Research about nutrition. You're gonna see it's so many benefits.
So remember that while you're sitting at home and you're deciding what you're going to eat, and we're eating out of stress, remember nutrition is super important. Kailee, I'm sorry we're right here at the end of the show. I want to thank both of you guys for coming on today. Have a great rest of the day.
All right, thank you.